Come on, where's everybody in the chat? Put your emotes there in the chat. Whatever you've got, just spam the heck out of them. It's racing here on X-Venture Forza Spec Racing Series. Let's go! It's Tuesday night, Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34, jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, gonna make a run to the inside on Drax, perhaps missing his mark. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to X-Venture here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore, and I am stoked. I could barely go through the workday without thinking, man, we got some racing tonight. Yeah, it's back. Forza Spec Racing Series, season number 48, week number 1. The slate has been wiped clean. All the points from season 44, and they're there before have just vanished into the ether. The Hubble Space Telescope thing. No, not Hubble. Well, Hubble and James Webb. It's a dual effort. It's a two-pronged approach. They're trying to find the points, but we've gotten rid of them all. They're gone. Everybody's starting with a great goose egg here today, and we've got two races on tap for you, featuring the 2015 Polaris RZR at E300 Performance Index. Yes, you heard me. You heard me correctly. E300, which is the low. What are the like? That's about as low as you can go. If this was a limbo, you're pretty much planking under the bar at this point. That's how low the PI is of the Polaris RZR that we've got here, not only tonight, but on through the next 4 nights after this evening, the next 4 Tuesdays after tonight, making up 9 races in total, 2 for the first 4 weeks, or the first 4 Tuesdays, and then that 5th and final Tuesday, the finale, 1 singular race to crown the champion. Well, we hope, anyway, we hope that it goes that far. We don't like it, at least I don't like it, when the championship is decided so early. We can't help that. All we could do is hope for the best. All right, let's go take a look at the standings here. Coming out of season number 47, Season 47, which featured the Ford F-150 Raptor race truck. Just in case you're curious about the diversity of vehicles, the assortment that you may get, either as a participant or just by spectating the races here, it's not the same from any one season to the next. LS Subaru picking up a 6th straight championship. That's never been done. Not to mention, LS Subaru is very much closing in on the heels of Cratrium, who has the most Forza Spec Racing Series championships of any one driver. Cratrium in second at 388, try as he might, just falling a little bit short. Audrex at 344. Then you've got LS Barney, Soul Motion Fire, Cuda 93, Patches Riley, Fear the Fun, Born as Ghost, Modern Weapon making up your top 10. You want to see your name on this leaderboard? I know you do. I know you can. Sure, we only have 18 drivers who participated there in season 47. We've seen a heck of a lot more. And so really, get involved here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Make it your goal to be in the top 20 here on the leaderboard week in, week out. And then I'll call your name out as such. We've got Jube, Chaos Fox, Colossal, Viral Mist, Toyosama, Woozy, Onion, and Grim, who also made the leaderboard here coming out of season 47. Sure, not everybody got to participate the entire time, and therefore some of those quicker drivers we see a little bit further back. Let's take a look at the schedule here. Barney isn't even racing this week, says Onion. Oh, no. And we've got 15 drivers in the lobby, too. Barney, come on. Make it 16. All right, there's a look at the schedule here for season 48. Tonight we've got Sonoma short circuit for 20 laps, followed by 28 laps of Monza short circuit. Then we'll head out a week from tonight to Lime Rock, the West Chicane, and then Mount Panorama Bathurst. I'm really looking forward to that one. 11 laps at Mount Panorama in the Polaris RZR. Oh, buckle up, folks. That one's going to be exciting. Rio de Janeiro full circuit. I don't know that I've ever called out the Rio de Janeiro full circuit here for the Forza Spec Racing Series. 10 laps there. Homestead Speedway for 34. Dubai, Sebring in week number 4, week number 5, concluding out the season at Circuit de Catalunya Nacional. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and get the audio going here as qualifying has begun. Qualifying has begun here for us this evening. We've got, looks like either an early morning or a sunset situation going on here at Sonoma. So the headlamps are beaming here on the Polaris RZR. Hopefully we can get a little bit more daylight for the race itself. It's kind of dark here, as Patches Riley is going to be the first to lead them off the line. You see it, 15 cars. There they are. Here we go. Penguin in the chat says, I believe in Barnaby P. Winklebottom. That's fine. He's still based. I hear you. I see what you're saying. Barney is still Pog, as they would say here on Twitch. we have to try to take on LS Subaru, going for a 7th consecutive championship. Can any league in any gaming series claim that they've had a 7-time driver and somebody who's done it 7 times in a row? Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, geez, that means that you got kind of like an OP driver out there on the track. Maybe you should forcefully retire that driver and give somebody else a chance. Well, you know what? We've got a lot of great, highly skilled drivers. We've got those that are mid-pack. We've got those that are developing their skills. They're improving themselves as a driver season in, season out. It's going to happen at some point. And if you think you're that driver who can make that happen, then why don't you give it a try? Head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. And although you're not ready here, I'm saying you're not ready just because the officials, the organizers won't be able to bring you in time. You, however, can get involved in week number 2 and still make a run for the championship. They've got a drop week rule in effect, so by not participating here in week 1 by default, this would be your drop week. And so join us for week number 2 all the way through week 5. Do your best and see how high you can place on the leaderboard. Here we are, like I said, the E300 Polaris Razor. These things, they sound like wasps out there. They're just buzzing along. Not entirely sure how much throttle control is necessarily needed. It's going to be the steering that's going to be the interesting factor here. I took the Polaris out a little bit myself. A lot of snap oversteer if you do let off the accelerator and let those front wheels rotate over. It can make things pretty challenging in the handling department here. E300, 123 horsepower, a whopping 81 foot-pounds of torque. Of course, in a vehicle this small and this light, 81 is not half bad. I said a vehicle that's light. It does come in at a modest 1,586 pounds of vehicle curb weight. Across the line goes slow motion fire. TNR Horizon. TNR Horizon right now with the quickest qualifying time at a 1:30.553. Will that be enough for pole? Let's go to TNR Horizon. And now, I saw Cratrium and then Subaru snipes it there. A 1:29.323. And as we take a look at Horizon here, getting around in the Polaris Razor, I believe this will be an orange number board driver, which would indicate somebody who's in their rookie year here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. I don't see one there on the right side. Then again, they're buzzing along pretty quickly. Penguin says the only reason Barney is not here today because he is honing his skills in real life and they are improving. Oh, out on the track, or you just mean life in general? I don't know necessarily how to interpret that. No offense intended. Not at all. And Penguin just says yes. Well, that helps me none at all. All right, TNR Horizon coming up to the start-finish line to finish qualifying here. Our first qualifying session of season 48. We did have a predictor going, but nobody cast a vote. So there goes that. Did I put it for too short? Did I put it for like 30 seconds? I thought I put it for a full 25 minutes or so. 25 minutes. Ah, well. People are filtering in. I appreciate that. Well, maybe that was TNR Horizon's second qualifying lap. I take it back. Not quite done. Let's go to Bryant here. Also has an orange number board. I see it there on one of the fender flares. Good to see some new Xbox gamer tags here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Yeah, sure. Forza Motorsport 7 has been out for quite some time. What is it, closing in on 6 years now? It's crazy. It's crazy. With the next one anticipated here in spring 2023. Oh, no, that was it. And we were just waiting for, I think, one of the stragglers there to finish their qualifying session. And we'll take a look at the results here. We've got Patches Riley at a 1:36.03, a 1:35.53 there for TNR Horizon. Not able to improve after that first qualifying time or the second. Soul Motion Fire at a 1:31.183. Onion Too Many Eyes with a 1:36.80. Borna's Ghost at a 1:31.736. A 1:30.194 for Cratrim. Audrex with a 1:31, a 1:29.323. A pole sitting 1:29.323 there for LS Subaru. Toyo-sama, good to see Toyo-sama participating here in week number 1. Doing their best with a 1:29.678. That'll be good enough for row number 2. Fear the Fun at a 1:30.994, a 1:31.230 by Darkser. Oops Arena with a 1:30.034, 1:32.769 by Kuda. Bryant with a 1:29.653. That's going to be good enough for row number 1, P2. Congratulations there, Bryant. Weisenmitten, good to see Weisenmitten back with a 1:36.184. That will be good enough for the back of the pack. 15 drivers who have qualified. Zero dirtied qualifying times. Well done, drivers. What a good way to kick things off. And even if it wasn't your best qualifying time, well, we got, 20 laps, I believe, here? Let's go back to the schedule. 20 laps to sort out your position in the field at the end of the race. It's always good to come out of week number 1 with a lot of momentum, feeling confident about your familiarity and your ability with the vehicle. Take that into week number 2. What you hate to see is any driver really face big, substantive issues here at the onset of a season that can be very discouraging. So, good game to everybody. GG's to everybody, not only during the qualifying, but hopefully here during the opener, the season opener out at Sonoma, 20 laps. E300 class. I know a lot of people would look at that and probably scoff and think, wow, gee, that's going to be really, really slow. The beauty of it, though, as we go down on the performance index scale here in Forza Motorsport 7 is really that opens up the opportunity for a lot of close racing. If there's a lot less throttle manipulation and modulation that has to be done, and folks are able to just kind of focus on their line and do the best they can in their driving, it can really make the battles out on the track a lot closer, because it's less about timing on your throttle. Sure, there's the steering element of everything, but if you're more on the throttle than having to go on and off, that certainly helps. And then, the slower means that no matter how quick the quickest driver is out here on the track, a 1:29, as we saw with both Bryant and LS Subaru, everybody else is not all that far behind. Let's go ahead and turn on over to the driver's spotlight here. Weisenmitten, a name I haven't called in quite some time. Welcome, and season 48 about ready to get underway. The Polaris RZR. How do you like your qualifying?
I've already hit the wall in almost the last turn.
Yeah, so
qualifying is not too good for me.
Gotcha, and noted that puts you there at the back of the pack based on your top qualifying time. But that being said, 20 laps here in a E300 car, E300 performance vehicle, it's going to be a lot of racing here to turn that around and pick up a few spots, yeah?
Yeah, hopefully the guys' tunes, well, then again, I've been out for almost about 8 seasons.
Yeah.
I finally got a good internet connection, so I'm finally being able to race without the signal dropping out on me.
Right.
Yeah, I think with my tuning I got on here, I spent a solid week on it. I should be competitive, middle of the pack.
Nice. You mentioned you got your internet connection sorted out, so when you went on over to reddit.com/r/FM4 for the series and you recognized or saw that the Polaris RZR was going to be the vehicle raced this season, 9 races in total, tell me, what was maybe your first reaction?
Well, it's something different. It's way smaller. As you know, I think it was 37 season. we had the Miata. I thought that was the smallest car I've ever raced before, but yeah, this one's definitely going to be kind of a tricky to handle around.
Do vehicles with a short wheelbase, do those pose a challenge to you, or through your tuning have you been able to hash it out pretty well?
There might be a challenge for me.
Okay. Could be a challenge for everybody. We'll just have to see. Qualifying is one thing when the drivers are ghosted out there on the track, when you've got 15 drivers in total battling for position. Well, that's a whole heck of another situation going on there. Wyzen Mitten, thanks for joining me here in the driver's spotlight, and best of luck to you in the race.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right. One of my favorite parts of the broadcast here on Tuesdays is getting the opportunity to talk to some of the drivers, get their thoughts on maybe at this point in the season how it's going to pan out, and get some early reactions of how they're acclimating to the vehicle. Again, we're going from, well, actually, let me back it up a couple of seasons. We're going from the Cadillac XTS Limousine in season 46. Then we go to the Ford F-150 Raptor race truck there for season 47, and now here we are in the Polaris RZR. So LS Subaru doing everything within his power to make it a challenge here for the racers, to include himself. LS Subaru might very well have to be fending off drivers who are really striving hard to get not just a championship, but just try to pull away some points here from race to race, be able to finish out perhaps in the top spot, perhaps in the top 3, top 5, keep it close in terms of that overall point total, and try to take the championship run as far into the season as possible. All right, Slow Motion Fire has let me know there in the chat that we are ready to rock and roll. One of the other favorite parts that I have to enjoy here on the stream is getting the chance to thank those who support the broadcast, and I'll get to that in just a minute. You might have heard the little audible warning there during that interview. All right, the lobby is in fact loaded up. Let's head on over. They'll be lined up on the grid here, and as soon as LS Subaru pulls away from his starting position on the pole spot, everybody else is free to go. All right, folks. Kick the tires, light the fires. Season number 48 in the Polaris RZR is underway. Our season 47, season 46, season 45, season 44, season 43, season 42, season 41 winner, champion, LS Subaru, leads the pack up the hill, out of turn number 3, and up the hill once again. A lot of elevation change here at Sonoma. Brings it back down here on the short track. And just like that, LS Subaru has now already established a bit of a lead. You'll see them run wide here on this right-hander. They are permitted to do so during qualifying. You got to keep it within the white lines to get that clean qualifying time. Here in the race, not the case. They are permitted to run wide, as you saw there with Subaru. Subaru followed by Bryant in P2. That's where Bryant qualified. In third, it's Toyosama, followed by Oops Arena, Cratrium, Horizon, Patches Riley, Onion with Too Many Eyes, Audrex, and Darkser back there in 10th position. Here through the S's and making the charge toward the hairpin. This is where off to the left you've got the pit lane entry. To the right-hand side you've got the hairpin. You want to stay away from that pit lane entry here. We may very well see a need for it a little bit later on in the season, but here at Sonoma, fuel nor tires should be a concern. LS Subaru, the 6-time champion, the reigning champion, across the line for the beginning of lap number 2. I told you I like to get the opportunity to thank those who support the stream above and beyond. Thank you, Born as Ghost, for 18 solid months here of support. Born as Ghost, thank you very much. And there goes Oops Arena tagging the wall, coming out of the right-hander on the backside of the track. And Oops Arena is going to get spun around. Not sure if that's going to result in any vehicle damage. Oh, yes. There is quite a bit of aero damage, brake damage, and suspension damage there on the front right side. Likely to necessitate a pit stop. We'll stay with Oops Arena here and just see if that is, in fact, going to be the case. Not what you like to see at all. Trying to get our track map back up here, as I've lost it. There we go. It has returned. Let's move up to P3, which is currently occupied by Toyo Sama, who is behind Bryant and trying to keep tabs of LS Subaru. Sport exhaust, race brakes, race anti-roll bars at the front and the rear, race chassis reinforcement, roll cage, plus a race clutch, transmission, differential, and racing tires, which at the front are 230s, 65s, wrapped around an 18-inch rim, 280/50 R18s at the rear. And the rim is a 15, or the rims all the way around are 1552 forged monoblock Pentas. We did see the black screen there. I couldn't take note as to whether or not we lost somebody or if that was just a genuine connection issue. SFM Darkser out early here. And so of the 15 drivers who started, we find ourselves down 14. Back into the hairpin goes LS Subaru, our race leader. You got Bryant, Toyosama, single file formation. The driver's taking pretty much a carbon copy of Subaru's line. Let's drop back a little bit here. We got a huge mid-pack field here, stretching from 4th, which is TNR Horizon, who's fallen back a position or two here, followed by Onion, Patches, Riley, Cratrum, Fear the Fun, Drex, and then Soul Motion Fire is going to be the leader of the, I guess I would say the caboose of the train out here at Sonoma. Cratrum, who finished in 2nd position overall on the leaderboard, with season number 47, has his work cut out for him, currently in 7th. Some new names, new faces out there on the track. Let's go back up to Bryant here in 2nd position, trying to keep pace with Subaru, who is just on it. Yeah. Hectazace 720 there in the chat. That the fire emoji pretty much describes LS Subaru's pace at this moment. Let's go to Onion. Too many eyes in 5th. Here comes Patches. Riley looking to the outside. Fear the Fun a little bit further out. Drivers perhaps searching for a different line to try to make a pass. Now, this is the other challenge of vehicles this low on the performance index. Sure, it may keep the racing close, but it also makes it ridiculously difficult to pass. You think you're going to drift, or not drift, draft your way around somebody. You think you're just going to be able to mash the throttle and go, and then you realize, oh yeah, I'm already tapped out, or my engine is already tapped out. All 123 horses doing work to make you be as fast as you are in that moment. It's got no more to give. So really, it's imperative that you look for mistakes, as it looks like either Patches, Riley, or Fear the Fun getting a little bit squirrely here on the entry into the S's. Cratrum now moves up to 6th position. For those of you who might be new to X Venture, the Forza Spec Racing Series, Or heck, maybe even Twitch. Maybe you didn't know about this whole Twitch thing until, I don't know, 23 minutes ago. Welcome. And if you enjoy the content here throughout the evening, please, 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 it is the very most I ask of the viewers. Click that follow button. Lets me know as the broadcaster that you enjoyed your time here, and it makes me feel loved. Sad. No, but really makes it easier for you to find the channel and make your way back to X-Venture in the future when I do go live on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Back up over the hill, downhill they go. In 7th is Fear the Fun, going to get a couple tires off into the grass, really putting the off-road capability of the Razor to use. However, with those racing tires on, you might find it difficult to get traction. And so Fear the Fun not gaining nor losing position there on that slight incident. LS Subaru continues to be our race leader, followed by Bryant and Toyo-sama. And again, it's TNR Horizon, another new name here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, who's got the gaggle of razors. The gaggle of razors following closely behind. Penguin double checks the follow button to make sure it's pressed, as should everyone in stream. Thank you. I appreciate your vote of confidence. There comes Craytrim looking to the outside. Fear the Fun on the low line. And just as Fear the Fun looked to maybe make a move, he got caught up by Onion, who was maybe a little bit slow out of the hairpin. And as a result, Craytrim moves up a spot. Here goes Fear the Fun right onto the back bumper of the SDR painted Polaris RZR, driven by Onion. Got that magenta and sea green going on the SDR livery. By the way, beyond the follows, I get it. You guys are here for the racing action. Oh, Patches Riley off the track. Not sure if Patches got caught up with Audrex there coming down the hill, or if it was just a matter of that snap oversteer, especially if you get that front end. If you get the weight of the Polaris off those front wheels as you go up and over the hump there at the top of the hill, you might be unloading the suspension, and as a result, the steering may change to a degree that if you have the slightest bit of oversteering, or if you turn that wheel a little bit too much, or in the case of a joystick, you press it a little bit too far one direction, could send your vehicle into a fit. And now look at this battle here between Onion, Too Many Eyes, and Fear the Fun. Side by side, down the backstretch they come, into the hairpin. Horizon continues to be out there in P4. Craytrim is now hunting them down there in P5. Here comes Onion to the outside of Fear the Fun. They're gonna go. They're gonna go. Blah, 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 blah. That's my best Tasmania. Taz the Tasmanian Devil impression. I did it. It's got to happen at least once a season. What I was trying to say is Onion and Fear the Fun side by side across the start-finish line, and now they're back in a single file formation. Audrex with Patches Riley now dispatched from the crew, going to try to pick up the pace and close that gap that exists between he and Onion. There goes another vehicle wide in 6th. That's Fear the Fun. May have tapped the wall ever so slightly, and oh, we've got contact. Just as I changed our camera view, we've got contact between Onion and Fear the Fun. Let's go back to Onion. Too Many Eyes. What a great race we've got going here. And it is sure to continue. We've got a driver that is in pit lane. That's going to be P14 of CUDA 93. CUDA 93, a veteran here of the Forza Spec Racing Series. What I was going to say earlier before things got exciting is that beyond my request for you to click the follow button, the additional ask, although completely optional, is if you'd like to say hello there in the chat. Let me know if you're rooting somebody on, if you've got a driver out there who's your favorite, or if you've just got thoughts on the race itself or the vehicle that has been chosen here for Season 48, drop a line there in the chat. I'd love to engage with the viewers. It's always a lot more fun here on the broadcast when I get a chance to have a little back and forth, a little discourse with y'all. Toyo Sama getting around lap traffic back there in P3. We're going to keep things focused on the mid-pack, where we've got a couple of battles a-brewing here. DNR Horizon in 4th, Kratrium in 5th. Kratrium getting off into the grass a little bit, kicking up the dirt. Kick the dust up. Out of the S's. Along the billboards here at Sonoma. Again, it's either an early or an early morning or a late evening here at Sonoma. Skies are mostly cloudy, but beautifully painted there with reds and purples and blues. DNR Horizon now across the line, beginning of lap number 10. Born as Ghost says a few of the curbs here can cause you to bottom out and break your your entire suspension. Wow. As if it wasn't tricky enough with the short wheelbase. You got to throw in the fact that abusing the suspension will not do you any favors as TNR Horizon goes over the curbing there at that right-hander. That curbing seems to be a little forgiving. Fear the Fun now able to shed onion, at least for now. Here up into 6th position. Hekdat says Weizenmitten, and then the muscle arm. Yeah, Weizenmitten, who we spoke to in the driver's spotlight, currently running in 12th position, was hoping to be a little bit more mid-pack. And it's not out of the question. We still have half the race remaining with Slow Motion Fire and Oop Serena up there in 11th and 10th respectively. About a quarter of the track away, so does have their work cut out for them. Weizenmitten does, but again, not entirely impossible. Well, I can honestly say the drivers have got these Polaris Razors dialed in a lot better than I could have ever have imagined. I really did struggle with this car a little bit when I was just doing my own little testing. I was out at Lime Rock with that. Fear the Fun now closing in here on the battle for 4th. Let's go to Fear the Fun, and let's go ahead and ride on board. You can see as we ride on board there, the sense of speed is not overwhelming. Not overwhelming by any stretch of the imagination, but it is what makes driving line 101 all that much more important. Here comes Fear the Fun, making use of as much of the runoff area as he possibly can. Going to allow Kratrium to get side by side with him. But for now, Fear the Fun moving up one spot to P5. Very well done there by Fear the Fun, who was battling with Onion about 4 or 5 laps ago. Able to get that composure, able to focus. We know with Fear the Fun that inconsistency can strike at any moment. But similarly, when he gets into the zone and he is focused, then that can take him a long way. So we'll see if Fear the Fun is able to stay within the top 5. Going to try to make a move here on TNR Horizon. Just pulls the front end, that brush guard, right up onto the back of Bryant. Wasn't trying to make a move there, but as we come out of turn number 1, TNR Horizon, Bryant is up in second position. TNR Horizon here in P4. Gonna do as many defensive moves as you can get away with in motorsport. Penguin. Since I can't root for LS Barney, I might as well root for LS Subaru. Keep it in the LS's. Go Subaru, says Penguin. I got you. As if Subaru needs any encouragement. Virus Thoughts is here. Zoom. Virus Thoughts, how you doing? How's it going? And just like that, Fear the Fun within the span of about 2 laps has made 2 moves from P6 now up to P4. Gets around TNR Horizon. You see TNR Horizon getting a little bit squirrely through the S's. So, man, it is just a challenge for even our drivers who are notably skilled at this craft of esports, virtual racing. The Polaris Razor is a formidable opponent. Landslide. This gives me an idea that golf course speedrun should be a thing. As many strokes as you want. Just be as fast as possible. Timer stops when you finish the whole course, so those precious seconds of golf cart time would count. I like it. Let's do it. Pick the course. Let's go. If you hit back markers, aka the regular golfers, you just play through them. You don't stop. There's no courtesy. Play on. Play on, playa. as I think they said back in the 90s. I know. I try dearly to be hip, and it ruins me every time. We keep the camera here on this battle for third because here comes Fear the Fun. He makes it the trifecta from 6th to 3rd in a matter of 5 laps. Well done, Fear the Fun. I said he's got it focused. He seems composed. He's beyond that. He's overpowering at this point. And Toyo-sama is having to go into pit lane. Let's hear your best Polaris flyby impression. You got to have the Doppler effect to it. You got to have that Doppler effect. That's what makes you a bona fide motor impressionist. Here comes Weisenmitten bouncing off the wall like a pinball, it looks like there, out of that right-hander. But here is Bryant in second position. Just really kind of running their own race at this point. LS Subaru is out in the distance, is but a mirage at this point. And Toyo-sama, I just mentioned, having to go into pit lane for one reason or another, leaving Fear the Fun an opportunity to swoop in. Let's go to TNR Horizon, who has now fallen back to 6th. Okay, where's the impression? I just heard a car. Exactly. Penguin is my my biggest fan at the moment. My cheerleader in the chat, the pit lane, as we call it here. Y'all aren't just the chat. You're there in the pit lane. You're hanging out. We're smelling. You smell that? That's the fumes of the Polaris Razor putting around Sonoma here. Lap number 16 of 20. That 21st lap that you see there in the upper left-hand corner, that is just a cool-down lap. Pay no mind to it. TNR Horizon here, sandwiched between Audrex, who's made a miraculous recovery as well, going from at least 8th position now up to 5th. And Onion Too Many Eyes back there in 7th. How smexy is Dustin looking for today's stream? Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Tasty fume, says Penguin. I don't know about tasty. I don't know about tasty. $123 horsepower, 81 foot-pounds of torque, 1,586 pounds of vehicle curb weight brings the Polaris Razor, the 2015 model, to E300 Performance Index here in Forza Motorsport 7. And if you're thinking E, that's got to be for exceptionally quick, right? No? No, it's a little bit on the slow end, but that's what's going to make the remaining 8 races here after the Sonoma a 20-lapper here at Sonoma. That's what's going to make everything very, very exciting to see who we might crown as the champion when the 9 races are all said and done 5 weeks from today. Running through the field, LS Subaru, surprise, surprise, is out in front, followed by Bryant, the newcomer here to the Forza Spec Racing Series. Here the fun is P3 with a stellar drive at the moment. Really one of the more commendable performances as we sit here at about lap 17 and a half. Followed by Cratrim, who's done a great job making their way up to 4th position right now. A nice little battle here that we see between Audrex and TNR Horizon, followed by Onion Too Many Eyes in 7th, Patches Riley in 8th, Toyosama in 9th, Serena. 10th position. Soul Motion Fire there in 11th, 12th is Weisenmitten, Born as Ghost in 13th, and we did lose 2 drivers now at this point. We lost SFM Darkser, and I'm going to guess Kuda93 would be the second, indeed. You hate to see it. They are tasty. Maybe the fumes are melting your neurons. Yeah. There was a time where I would waft the scent of exhaust fumes into my nostrils, but now I think that not to be such a great decision. If they happen to filter in, okay. But you don't need to put your schnoz right up to the exhaust pipe. Nah, you shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do it. We got a it looks like a 3-way battle, but not quite. We have one of our back markers in the mix. It's going to be I'm completely wrong. All of a sudden here, we've got a 3-way battle for 5th that I swear has just manifested out of thin air. SFM Darkser, hopeful I don't get destroyed on the first lap this time. Apparently Darkser involved in an incident here for the first race of Season 48. I'd be lying if I say that accidents don't happen here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. It is a beer league. They try to reinforce that clean racing is the most enjoyable form of racing. And so anybody who participates, really the only prerequisite is not how fast you are. It's not even a matter of how good your car looks. I know, surprising, looking at all the awesome liveries out here. No, the only requirement for your participation here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, beyond, the car and the setup and all that, I think that's a given, is clean racing. Clean racing, and all that really means is just being mindful of who you're around out there on the track. If you see a quicker driver approaching you, we don't have blue flags that we can wave out here. There are no marshals on the side of the circuit here in Forza Motorsport 7. You just have to be observant. You have to be aware, and give the oncoming traffic a route through. Of course, if you're battling it out and it happens to be contact that spoils the race for somebody or somebodies, a courteous and a nice gesture of my bad, my apologies, if it is indeed your fault, go a long, long way. And across the line, LS Subaru now gets the white flag, so next time by, Subaru will see the checkers drop and pick up yet another victory. Amazing. Simply amazing. Bryant has had a great race, showing up here in FM4 for the first time. Going to finish P2 unless something happens here on the remaining 3/4 of the final lap. Fear the Fun. Got to give Fear the Fun the drive of this race. Not necessarily the drive of the day. We've got another one for you here right after this. But Fear the Fun there in P3. Cratrim in P4. P5 is Audrex. So let's go to that battle for third, and we'll pick it up here with Cratrim. Penguin says, all right, let's go, new guy Bryant. Hello? New guy looking kind of clean? Yeah, definitely. I mean, qualified P2, finishing P2, that's as solid as a performance as you can possibly get as a newcomer in anything. In any sport, in any competition, to finish second to the winner. I know some people will say second is just the first person in last, whatever. Now Bryant holding their own here. As Subaru crosses the line, Bryant crosses the line. Fear the Fun going to finish in third. Cratrim in fourth. Let's go to TNR Horizon, trying to claim one more spot here to go back up into the top 5. Currently occupied by Audrex. Here they go, side by side as they hit the dogleg here. Last left-hander toward the line. Audrex has got the good position and should have the momentum. And across the line, it will be Audrex, TNR Horizon, followed by in 7th position, Onion with too many eyes. Patches Riley going to come across in 8th position, followed by Oop Serena, who's made it up to 9th. Slow Motion Fire in 10th. Toyosama, unfortunately, with that pit stop, going to finish 11th. Born as Ghost in 12th. Weisenmitten in 13th. And then Kuda 93 and SFM Darkster, unfortunately, with the disconnect earlier on in the race. We'll see if they join us here for race number 2 of the evening. So don't go anywhere, folks. We got a lot more racing to come. We still have qualifying, the 3 laps out there at the Monza short circuit, and then it'll be 28 at that same track to see how things go here. Week number 1 of a 5-week season. Season 48, Forza Spec Racing Series, the Polaris Razor. We're already off to a great start. Don't go anywhere. I will run some ads here. This is the only time during the broadcast that I run ads is in between races. I promise you, as you will see here on the intermission screen, you are not going to miss a thing. You're not going to miss anything. 2 things. The ads do support the channel. Even the smallest percentage of the revenue that I get after Twitch takes their cut goes right back into the broadcast. I pay for licensing for music and helps with other production things. So appreciate you if you stick through for that reason, and then also because it allows people who join us a little bit later on in the broadcast to avoid those pesky pre-rolls. We'll see you on the opposite end here for Monza, week number 1, race number 2. I'm Dustin Moore. You're watching Next Venture here live on Twitch TV. Welcome back to Xventure here live on Twitch TV. For those of you who had to sit through the ads, I do much appreciate it. And those of you who have gone above and beyond and subscribed to the channel, well, hopefully you enjoyed the music. Everybody was throwing the emotes in there as they dance around on the screen. Anything we can do to make your experience here on the channel on Tuesdays all that much better, do hit me up either here on Twitch, over on Twitter. You can catch me in Discord, in the Forza Spec Racing Discord, wherever works for you. If you've got an idea of how to make things better for you as a spectator, or perhaps you're a racer and there's something that you're like, man, even as a racer, I've got ideas. I said razor there because we're racing the Polaris Razor. Yeah, hit me up. I'm always down to take ideas. Trying to do everything I can in between the busy workday to then come back and enjoy some time with you here and the Forza Spec Racing Series. The folks who bring you all the great racing action. I'm just running my mouth. It's the people out on the track who are doing the awesome things to entertain us here on a Tuesday night. Let's go ahead and turn on over to the driver's spotlight, and let's talk to none other than Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun, between some of the inconsistencies that we've seen from you in previous, more recent seasons, and then, of course, the issues with hardware that you've had that have disconnected you from races, a third place finish out here at Sonoma. That is one heck of a way to start season 48 here.
I'll take it. I love going around the outside of people. That was fun. From ninth to third, I'll take it.
Yeah, there was a point there within the span of about 4 or 5 laps where you went from 6th to 3rd, getting around. Well, first you had to contend with Onion Too Many Eyes, and then you got around Cratrim for one, Audrex, Horizon, TNR Horizon. Just well done. Toyosama, who I don't have to mention there, unfortunately having to go into pit lane, but you found your way around some very quick drivers.
I mean, you always say I'm inconsistent, so.
You had to prove me wrong, right?
At least one time. Lord knows I'm going to crash and burn and come in like 37th place on this race. So.
Hey, I can appreciate anybody trying to prove me wrong. I'm all down for that. If I'm saying that you're not driving as good as you can and you turn that around, do a 180 on me, then awesome. Talk to us about the Polaris Razor. I mean, among other things, there were conversations there in Discord, I know, about like what wheels to use and all that. How do you take something like a I don't even know what you classify these as an ATV?
Side by side.
Yeah. How do you get a vehicle like this ready for racing, actual competitive racing?
A lot of, I don't want to say like test and tune, but very much like test and tune. There's me and the other mods, and I think Patches was there too. I don't consider him another mod because he's not in that channel yet. But we all spent time going through it. We had a couple setups. We had like a D class, or not a D class, like an E class from CT, and then Slow had one. I was like, hey, I would like race tires, and I would like it to be slow.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we don't think we could do that. And I was like, well, and then I was like, well, let me try making a build. I made the build. Everybody loved it, and that's what we're racing. Except for the wheels and tires, which, or not tires, but the wheels, which are slows choosing.
Yeah. Gotcha. Talking with Fear the Fun here in the driver's spotlight, finishing third in the Forza Spec Racing Series, Series 48 opener out at Sonoma. And then, of course, as I mentioned there, tuning the vehicle up here for this series, or at least doing the upgrades for it on the organizational side of things here in FM4. You go from Sonoma, where we've got some ups and downs. We go out to Monza, which is considerably more flat. We've had, I think it was Born as Ghost, tell me there in the chat that sometimes if you hit curbs in this vehicle, you could blow out your suspension. So what should we be looking for as we head out to a track as fast, at the same time, pretty technical as Monza?
Well, it's the short version of Monza, so there's exactly 3 corners.
Okay.
Or 4 corners.
That's very technical in my book, Fear. Don't degrade me.
Yeah. People they didn't have any problems with practice before the last race with bottoming out or whatnot, but as soon as I got into it, that's when the bottoming out and suspension damage thing came in, which is, as we know, it's just a Forza thing. Whenever you load in from a practice to a race or vice versa, things handle different. They do different things. It's not very one-to-one, which is why we can't wait for the next game to come out.
There you go. Well, hey, awesome drive out at Sonoma. We'll see if it continues. You say you do it to spite my disbelief in your consistency, so you better make it happen in the second race in a row here tonight.
Lord knows I will. It's gonna be just for you.
Very good. Fear the fun. Congrats, and best of luck to you here in qualifying at Monza.
Thanks, Dustin.
All right, there you go. We got to talk to our P3 finisher, and now we'll bring in. I feel like I'm tiring in my voice when I say this. LS Subaru finishing out in front, out there at Sonoma. It looked like maybe early on in the race that Toyosama, Bryant, perhaps even TNR Horizon were going to give you a run for your money. That's not to say that it won't happen for the remaining 8 races here. But how did you get in such a groove that you were able to establish a lead with such talent on the track?
Yeah, it was pretty much just getting my head down and really trying to concentrate more than I usually do. Something I've been having problems with ever since I started racing. Really was not being able to keep concentration. But since recently, I've been real making decent improvements at being able to concentrate more consistently.
It seems like that would be a little bit more of a difficult thing to establish here in the Razor. I drove it around a little bit. I wasn't hooning it like you guys are out here on the racetrack and battling other drivers, but it seems like concentration would be very difficult to maintain. A lot of just holding the throttle, and sure, you're letting off for corners and such, but I don't know. Do you feel yourself just kind of going through a bunch of random thoughts here, particularly out there at Sonoma once you established a good 5, 6, 8 second lead? Do you got to try to how do you control your thoughts from getting out of hand?
That's actually the problem I actually have when it comes to being able to concentrate. Is that I start having random thoughts whenever I'm doing pretty much anything in gaming. I just start thinking about random things, and then it just ends up leading to a mistake, and then I have to concentrate again, and then it's just like a loop of it just happening over and over again. So um, I understand, yeah, with the Polaris, because it's a very slow car
Yeah.
and a very grippy car at that, concentration will be a little bit more harder to maintain, especially at a track like Monza where there's so few corners. Um, but yeah, it's just a matter of knowing, just I guess figuring out how to work at improving concentration, I guess.
So for anybody who's watching and thinking, gosh, it's just video games, guys, to be good at anything, to include video games, and especially when you're competing against other real people, concentration, the mental game, very much a real thing. It sounds like you're having a lot of internal coaching sessions with yourself about the track. Talking with LS Subaru here, winning the first race of the season and of the night. When you picked this vehicle after you were the season 47 champion, were you doing it to be more of a challenge to you or to the other drivers? What's your relationship here with the Polaris Razor?
Well, I'll let you in on a bit of a secret. I actually have a predetermined list of cars that I'm selecting. So everything is so none of it really is up to whether I like this car or not. It's just a predetermined list. So once one car's chosen, whatever's next on my list will be that next car, and I don't think there'll be any mind changing for it.
Okay. Okay. And if I do say so myself, getting progressively goofier as we go along here. No, not true. I mean, we had the Ford F-150 Raptor race truck, very kind of like a bona fide racing vehicle. The Razor here having to outfit it with some racing tires and a little bit more horsepower to make it go zoom. But LS Subaru, well done out at Sonoma, and of course we'll be looking to see what you got here in store at Monza.
Thank you.
All right, and we're still waiting for drivers. A little bit of a delay in the lobby with folks getting ready, which happens from time to time, especially here in the first week. Perhaps folks are changing up the tune a little bit and flipping through the menus and reminding yourself which tune you're looking for any one particular race, especially early on in the season, can be a little confounding, and you feel like you're rushed and you're trying to make it happen as quick as you can. I assure you, they are definitely a little bit more flexible here in FM4, so that if you need the time, they certainly can allot you a little bit here to do what you got to do to your vehicle to get it ready for the races as we go through the season. And so this brings me to my call to you all who are watching the broadcast. I've seen a few familiar names here in the chat, to include Colossal CC. We had Born as Ghost in here earlier. If you are or have been a participant of the Forza Spec Racing Series, or if you're watching now and you're thinking, gosh, this looks like a lot of fun. I've always been concerned about racing in multiplayer because I never knew how well I would do or how poorly I would do, or my concern about how I might interfere or disrupt the racing out there. I would say don't let that be a concern for you. Get off that fence and lean toward the side of registration. Again, all they're asking for you to do is to race clean. It doesn't matter your skill level. You can be as fast or as slow of a Forza racer as there could possibly be in existence, and it really doesn't matter. As long as you hop out there on the track, mind your P's and Q's, be aware and understanding of what's going on around you, and you're having fun, that's really all that matters. All right, let's head on out to the racetrack where qualifying is just now underway here at the Monza Nacional Short Track Autodromo. I'm just throwing words wherever I feel like it. Into turn number 1 goes Fear the Fun. Got Cratrium there. The driver who happens to be out in front of the pack is Serena. She's sporting the Taco Bell livery. Where's the bell? I know. I always say this, that I need to add sound effects to my my Stream Deck so that I've got a soundboard. I'm trying not to make things too goofy, but the Taco Bell bell? There are 3 brands. Here we go. This is going to be a great discussion, chat. This is going to be a great discussion. You need to be participatory here. Otherwise, I ban you all. I'm kidding. I won't ban anybody. 3 brands that I would absolutely love to be sponsored by, and they all happen to be food related. Taco Bell, Reese's, or Dr. Pepper. What are your 3? Who would you want to be sponsored by? Hurry. The recruiters are here. You guys can't see them. The recruiters for racing teams, their viewership does not count toward viewer numbers here on the channel. So I assure you they're out there. You just have to put yourself out there and be known. Who are your top 3 brands that you would want to be sponsored by? Colossal just says pepper. Okay, well, that's 1. Just any pepper? All right, across the line, here comes Slow Motion Fire, and it looks like somebody was off the pace there. I don't know if they had to take care of something else that was happening in the real world. The fortunate thing here in the qualifying session is all the drivers are ghosted. As soon as you start approaching another driver, their vehicle, they become ghosted so that you can continue to run your racing line unimpeded. Now, of course, you still see the ghost, so that can be a challenge. Colossal says the Dr. Pepper. Okay, we're getting small bits. We're getting piecemealed Colossal's response here. I don't see any other responses, which makes me one sad hombre. I'll turn this car around, chat. I'll turn this car right the heck around. Top 3 brands that you would want to be sponsored by. Let's go to LS Subaru, who has our top qualifying time at the moment, 103.493. Crosses the line, not able to do one better there. Second top qualifying time belongs to Cratrium, followed by Fear the Fun, TNR Horizon, Bryant, Oops Serena, Adrex, Darkser, Soul Motion Fire, and Kuda. It's the top 10, at least at this moment. Really? Really? Y'all, I went for the high five. I went for a high five, and you guys are completely leaving me hanging. Like, completely. Trying to sort your game out while typing? Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go take a look at the qualifying times here. Oops Serena, 104.354. Fear the Fun at a 104.074. Cratrim at a 103.923. That should be good enough for P2. A 104.757 there for Slow Motion Fire. Audrex with a 104.4. 103.4. FM. The Jet. 103.4 there for LS Subaru. That's going to be your top qualifying time on pole for the second time here in Season 48 is LS Subaru. Kuda 93 with a 104.772. Onion with Too Many Eyes at 104.1. 104.181 there for TNR Horizon. SFM Darkser with a 104.632. Brian at a 103.9. A 105.74 there for Wise Admitting Dirty. So even as a dirty lap time, no matter how much quicker that may be when compared to some of the competitors here, Wiseman by default will move to the back of the pack for the start of the race. Born as Ghost at a 105.247, a 104 for Patches Riley. And it seems we have lost a driver here during the qualifying session. Hopefully we'll get our 15th driver back out there on the grid. I don't see them. I'm trying to figure out who that might be. Who are we missing? And why does my Stream Deck keep going out? There was an update for Stream Deck, and I don't know what's going on. Hey, welcome into the broadcast booth. I'm Dustin Moore here on XVenture. Glad to have your viewership, your patronage, your I don't know what else. Your fanfare there in the chat, your comments, your hellos, your highs. Whatever you've got for me, I appreciate it, and hopefully you're having a good start to what is the final full week of August 2022. Yeah. And the start of Season 48 of the Forza Spec Racing Series featuring the 2015 Polaris RZR. What other racing league have you seen that has actually raced these Polaris RZRs and have done so in a meaningful fashion? They've done so in a way that it looks like racing, it sounds like racing, it smells like racing. Here we go toward the smells. It's all virtual, so none of that exists. But it looks, it sounds, it must be racing, right? Well, the beauty of it too is that you could participate here starting in week number 2 and still be in the running for the championship. Drop week rule is in effect, and really, if you haven't been here for week number 1, well, then that by default makes this week your drop week. So get involved here. Reddit.com/r/FM4. The link is there in the chat for you. Click it, and hopefully we'll see you out here on the track, call your name out, perhaps talk to you here in the driver's spotlight in between races. Slow Motion Fire, without a doubt, getting everything readied up. I'm still trying to identify who it is that we don't have out on the track, if it is one of our top racers or if we've lost somebody at mid-pack or there on out. Toyo-sama, perhaps? It's Toyo-sama, I think, who was racing in P3 at Sonoma for a majority of that event before having to go into pit lane. So Toyo-sama, MIA at the moment. Hopefully we'll get them back. If not here for this second and final race of the evening, but then for week number 2, race number 3. Same bat time, same bat channel, 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on XVenture is where you can catch the action. And let's go ahead and take a look at that schedule to preview what's ahead here over the next 4 weeks after tonight. We'll have Lime Rock, the West Chicane, 25 laps, and then Mount Panorama Bathurst. That's going to be a lot of fun. 11 laps there. Don't miss it. August 30th. Like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern. Then we've got week 3, 4, and 5. As you can see there, Rio de Janeiro, Homestead, Dubai Mountain, Sebring, and Circuit de Catalunya. Oh, I'm so happy to see Circuit de Catalunya. It's one of my favorite tracks. I know a lot of people say that it's not very challenging. It's not an overly complex circuit. You know what? I like it. I like it. As a finale, I like it. And it is the national circuit, so it will be a bit shorter than that full-on F1 Grand Prix track. We did lose Onion with too many eyes, so now we're down to 13 drivers from the 15 that we saw there for qualifying for race number 1. Subaru is asking for the channel points from that last predictor in which we had just one driver complete their qualifying session with a dirtied lap. So there you go. Soul Motion Fire letting us know there in the chat, trying to get a few drivers back into the lobby. It happens. It happens. It's you guys know. I mean, unless you don't have a lot of familiarity with online racing, these things happen, these disconnects. And so the best thing that the organizers can do to try to make it fair for people so that they don't lose out on a big chunk of points is to give them the time. Perhaps they got to restart their system. Perhaps they just have to get back into the lobby. Whatever the case may be, try to make that possible for those drivers who find themselves kind of like out of commission at the moment. Everybody is readied up here. We'll see if we get Onion. Weisenmitten is in the lobby. Colossal CC saying no luck. Multiplayer is being dumb. It won't let you join. That's too bad. Hate to see that. Kuda. I was gonna do something. I forgot what it was. What was? Oh, a predictor. Let's do another predictor here. For those of you who just love to wager your absolutely pointless channel points. They have no monetary value. They have really no value. And so the best thing you could do with them is just whatever the heck you want to do with them. You could spend them or you could just let them sit there and accumulate. Who wins? No, actually, let's do who finishes P2 at Monza. Do I dare say LS Subaru? How about Bryant? How about Cratrium? How about TNR Horizon? We're not going to put Fear the Fun on the list because I just don't have that. No, we'll put Fear the Fun on the list. We'll put Fear the Fun on there. I'm kidding. Do we have Toyo Sama back? I'd put Toyo Sama back on there if Toyo Sama was here with us. I don't think so. Let's see. That's 5 options. And then we'll just put then somebody else. We got to have that as an option, obviously. Otherwise, we could have a null outcome on the poll, the predictor. All right, there you go. Use your channel points. Use them wisely or don't. It really doesn't matter. Give it a whirl. All right. So we're going to have 14 drivers. The 15th that we are missing is Colossal CC, or known as... actually, no, Kuda93 is in the race. So, yeah. Patches. No, Patches is there. Patches is there. All right. 14 drivers. Yeah, that's a bummer, Colossal. I mean, the fortunate thing, if we're going to be optimistic here, is that it's week number 1, so it's drop week rule there for you. Hopefully we can get you back in week number 2. All right, we hear the revving of the engines. And here they are on the line. It's an overcast day here. Monza, Italia. LS Subaru, as soon as we see Subaru move, we can commence racing. There we go. Kick the tires, light the fires. Race number 2 of Season 48 in the Polaris Razor is underway. It is LS Subaru out in front, followed by Cratrim, Fear the Fun, TNR Horizon, and Onion with Too Many Eyes. As they go roaring through the midfield section, the infield section of Monza, because the larger track would be swinging out a lot further. What would that be? To the west, to the east, to the south, to the north? I don't know. But a shortened track here. 28 laps around the Autodromo Nacional Monza. Let's go to Cratrium, P2. Cratrium with the Supercuts livery. Oh, and Onion with Too Many Eyes already out. That was quick. We didn't even get a loading screen. Unless it happened when I was swapping to Cratrium. That must have been what transpired is as I was swapping to Cratrium's view, we lost Onion. It's unfortunate. It was running in the top 5 there early on in the race. LS Subaru, who picked up the win in race number 1 out at the Sonoma Short Circuit. And he's got about a 1 second lead at the moment over Cratrim, or maybe a half second. Already trying to establish that separation here. And we've only just begun lap number 3 right now. Let's go to TNR Horizon with the orange number board. Wow, look at the control needed to get the vehicle back, get it planted. It looks like it's got a lot of lean to it coming through the left-hander as you cut through the infield. The Polaris Razor kind of just bowing onto the right side, squashing that suspension down. And a lot of the vehicles at the moment, single file formation. If I look a little bit further back, Born as Ghost in 10th position, sporting the triangle livery, trying to summon oh gosh, the name Slapsvella. Born as Ghost trying to summon Slapsvella there with the triangle camouflage livery. It didn't work. It didn't work. There's not been a Slapsvella sighting here tonight. Let's go to Oof Serena. She's in 6th position. Very clean Taco Bell. I know. You guys clearly know where my heart or my hunger is right now, because I keep talking about the livery. Oof Serena there in 6th right now, behind TNR Horizon and out in front of SFM Darkser, who rejoins the action after a voluntary bow out there in race number 1. Darkser mentioning perhaps an oversight by one of the drivers collecting him there on the early laps and effectively putting him out of that race early. Let's go to Fear the Fun in 4th, trying to continue with what was a well, Fear the Fun is still out on the track and still in 4th, so we have not lost any of our top 5 drivers. Who might that have been? SFM Darkser now in the chat saying, I'm out. Car too slow. You were in like 5th, weren't you? 4th? Hate to see it. Darkser bowing out here. Race number 2. Hopefully can get the vehicle sorted out in time for week number 2, race 3 and 4. Across the line they go for the beginning of lap number 6. Fear the Fun on point. Maybe Fear the Fun. Maybe Fear the Fun is right at home with ATVs and go-karts and the like. Let's go back up to Cratrim in second. Let's try to monitor things while we can here. The Delta from first to second, and if Cratrim... See, now the difference here between this race and the Sonoma race before this is that Cratrim is already in second, whereas before Cratrim was having to work his way up through the field from as far back as, if I recall correctly, 8th. So now the focus for Cratrim is not getting around traffic, but maintaining pace. And right now, at least at the moment, not being successful in that, and you can see there, it looked like Cratrim getting a couple of wheels off into the grass, and it flung his Polaris RZR Razor all the way across the other side of the track. Fortunately, able to stay on the track. Let's go take a look at that here on the Xventure replay. Comes through the infield okay. Doesn't seem to be having any trouble there. And then makes this right-hander. And has to recover. I appreciate those who have joined us here throughout the evening at any given point. Hanging out, I'm Dustin Moore on Xventure. Hoping to see some of you come back here next Tuesday for week number 2. And if you are indeed enjoying the content, please do click that follow button. Let's go back to Oof Serena in 6th position, closing in on TNR Horizon in 5th, Fear the Fun in 4th. Oof Serena, we've had her participation from time to time. I am not entirely sure if it's been for an entire season. Try to make that happen here in season 48. Finished in 9th behind Patches Riley. Patches Riley currently in 7th position. Here at Monza, and you take a look at the track map, we have a tale of 2 fields of cars, 2 packs of vehicles. You've got your front runners and the back runners. Front runners led by LS Subaru and Oof Serena in 6th. And then it's Patches Riley, who I mentioned, in P7, leading the 2nd pack with Slow Motion Fire, Cuda 93, Odds Rex, Born as Ghost, and Weisenmitten. 12 drivers out on the track, with 2 out following early DNFs. out onto the back straightaway here at Monza, lap number 10 of 28. (123 horsepower, 81 foot-pounds of torque, 1,586 pounds of vehicle curb weight. E300 Performance Index is what it weighs in at here in Forza Motorsport 7. And you've got drivers here who are racing on PC. Perhaps they're racing on Xbox Series X or the Xbox One. Oh, Oops Arena. Wow. That was looking very sneaky-like. Squiggling out of that one, able to keep the front end pointed in the right direction. It really is the beauty of cross-platform multiplayer. I get it. There are business things in the world that make it impossible for us to really enjoy full-on open cross-platform play when you've got these AAA titles that belong to the studio of the respective console or platform. But at least here in Forza, we've got PC and Xbox, and if you so choose, you can race with a steering wheel. You don't have to go with the controller and the joysticks if you don't want to. You can plug in a racing wheel and have a go that way. Whatever makes your racing experience enjoyable. Colossal CC says there in the chat, connection issues seem to be up and running, or connection seems to be up and running. Hopefully it's just me having a moment. Back next week. SDR Onion, I've got 48,000 points on Cratrium for P2. Ooh. Bold. Well, not so bold. I retract that statement. Ella Subaru opening that lead there. Subaru pretty much on his own racing island at this juncture. Cratrium has still got Bryant very close there in P3. You see Cratrium, and now here out of the foreground comes Bryant, followed by Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun hunting for a second podium here tonight. Wouldn't that be awesome for Fear? I'm here for it. I'm all for it. You know, as commentators, you're supposed to be objective and just calling the action. But you know what? We're having fun here, right? We're having fun. Hopefully you are having a good time here on a Tuesday evening. I'll be back live, as I had mentioned, here on Friday, and then on Sunday. We'll talk about that at the end of the broadcast, so stick around. Obviously, we'll go into the driver's spotlight and have a word with a few of the racers here from this evening's action. So more to come, and then, gosh, man, rolling into September. The holidays will be here soon enough. It's my favorite time of the year. My favorite time of the year. I tell you what, when I can have these streams, when I can have these commentary sessions with FM4 and have my windows cracked open so that my whole neighborhood can hear me shouting about a virtual race, those are fun evenings. What do they got going on a Tuesday? What do they got going on? LS Subaru is our race leader, followed by Cratrium, Bryant, Fear the Fun, TNR Horizon, Oops Arena, Patches Riley, Slow Motion Fire, Audrex, and Born as Ghost. That's the top 10. And then Kuda 93 and Weizenmitten 11th and 12th, respectively. Really, I'm not joking. You should be a part of the fun here in FM4. Get involved week number 2. And you too can be in the running for the championship. We need somebody here to mix things up. Give Subaru a run for his money. Give us that battle here for first that the spectators are yearning for. Head over to reddit.com/r/FM4. Everything you need to know. Introduce yourself. Say you'd like to participate, and somebody will show you around. SDR Onion, I was connected to the to Discord and everything, so not your internet. Yeah, I mean, it could be maybe an Xbox thing or a server a particular server that you're connected to. There are so many variables. So many variables. Colossal says, I was super keen for this season as it will more than likely be your last. Well, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. I know it's easier said than done, you know? It's like trying to tell somebody that everything will be okay after something has happened where you're like, hey, chin up. Look to next week, and you'll get your opportunity. And that really is all there is I could say, right? Is we hope to see some people back out here next Tuesday. Get all 15 who started the racing here tonight, or maybe some new drivers. New job, mate. Wednesday mornings will be your travel. Ah, I got you. Yeah. I know. Well, and for anybody else who's like, man, my week-to-week schedule sometimes allows for it, other times may not allow for it. Again, don't let that discourage you either. Again, if you think that, hey, the best I can do in a 5-week season is show up for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Maybe there's 4 weeks I could do. I can't do a 5th week. Perhaps you have a thing once a month that keeps you from participating the entirety of the season. That's okay. That's okay. I'm trying to give you all, the viewers, every single reason to be a part of the action here. Oh yeah, plenty of spaces. I mean, the fact that we got up to 15 today was awesome. I mean, we're very much used to having a total of somewhere around 20 to 23 drivers who have participated in any one season. So that doesn't mean we necessarily have 20 to 23 drivers per night. That would be awesome. That would be a full lobby if we had 23. But even if we're able to fill up that leaderboard that I show at the beginning of each broadcast, fill that up, that would be good. That would be 20 drivers. We got the loading screen there. Oh, gosh. That always makes me worrisome. Kuda 93, SFM Darkster, and Onion with too many eyes. So it must be Kuda 93 that we lost, yeah? Let's go to Cratrium. Well, actually, let's go to Bryant in third. And now we've got ourselves a bona fide battle for second here. Skill level is irrelevant. I'm literally representing Team Underdog this season, says Colossal CC. It is. It is. That's not just a cliche saying here on the stream that that skill level is irrelevant. Really, even if you haven't even stepped into a multiplayer lobby in Forza ever before, well, you're not going to find a more accepting, a more accommodating, or a friendlier group of folks that are ready to help you with your tune if you need it. Help you out with maybe some practice sessions. I mean, you may find it somewhere else, but week in, week out, season to season, like that level of support is not going to go away. You may find it somewhere else where somebody's like, hey, yeah, I can help get you kind of like jump started here for the first race, but after that, man, I really have to be focused in on my own stuff. Like, that's the usual experience, but here you get the support you need all season if you need it, and then some. Great battle here. Bryant's going to get all four wheels and then some off into the grass here in the chase with Cratrium. And you see Ella Subaru way out there in the distance, just now entering Parabolica, yeah. I lost my track map. Remember when I told you guys I got to get a binder with all the track maps? Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. One day. Coming soon. Trademark. And Serena has moved it up to 5th position now. Breaking into the top 5, getting around TNR Horizon in the Taco Bell car. The Taco Bell Polaris Razor. Whew. Man, the way the car just wobbles like that, coming out of that left-hander, it has me worried, but clearly all the drivers have got it figured out, because I don't think we've seen anybody get turned around there. I talked earlier about the snap oversteer that I experienced. Well, haven't really seen that out of the drivers tonight. Surprise, surprise. Something that I struggle with. Everybody else is, nah, we're good. We got this, Dustin. Watch. You sit there on your microphone. We'll take it from here. Across the line, beginning of lap number 22 there for Fear the Fun. Oof Serena and TNR Horizon. Bryant falling back a little bit from Cratrim here in that battle for second. Bryant with the Napa. Napa know-how. What was the previous slogan for Napa? I feel like that one was better. Get in the Napa, auto Napa. No, that wasn't it. There was one before Napa Know-How, though, wasn't there? If Napa Know-How is even... I don't know if that was their slogan or if that was just their jingle. Again, Bryant and TNR Horizon with the orange number plates here for the Polaris Razor, which indicates this is their rookie season with the Forza Spec Racing Series. Don't let that fool you, though. Obviously, we're seeing Bryant here in 3rd, Horizon back in 5th, getting back around Serena. Clearly not new to Forza Motorsport. You can be a rookie in this series without being an amateur on the track. As TNR Horizon just so subtle moves here to keep Serena in the rearview mirror into turn number 1, lap 24. Oof Serena, by the way, recently being announced as part of the TNR racing team. So congratulations there to Serena. That's another thing that you can aspire to if you're relatively new to esports is, try to, maybe there's a group of like-minded or similarly skilled drivers that you would like to be a part of, like they have a team. And with that team, they help each other out with tunes and paint jobs and getting signed up for races. So there are a lot of different paths that you can take as a virtual racer here. And really the cool thing about it too is you can take it as serious or as leisurely as you like. If clubs and podium finishes aren't your thing, that's okay. You got a home here in FM4. Let's go back up to third with Bryant, who's reeling Cratrium in slightly, closing that gap a little bit here between second and third as they come out of the final right-hander toward the start-finish line. Out at the Monza Short Circuit. And we took a look at the schedule here just before this race. A reminder that we visit Lime Rock and Mount Panorama 1 week from tonight. That Mount Panorama race. That's going to be something. That's a track that you really got to get your handling sorted out here in the Polaris Razor. You hit that downhill section. There's no time for... There's no time for sorting it out during the race. You got to be a little bit... You got to be a bit prepared for that one. That might be one of the more challenging events on the schedule here of the 9-race season. Bryant is closing the gap here. Oof, Serena, as I mentioned, falling back to 6th, but still there with TNR Horizon in 5th. Nürburgring in this car is going to be great. I don't know of any Nürburgring. I don't show any Nürburgring on the schedule. I would agree it would be great, but I don't see it. Are you sure that wasn't an off-season thing? They may have voted for it, but it did not make the cut. The 7 races remaining after tonight: Lime Rock, Mount Panorama, Rio de Janeiro, Homestead, Dubai, Sebring, and Circuit de Catalunya. You might be thinking about Rio. Rio is going to be interesting. That is the full circuit of Rio for 10 laps. Full circuit in reverse, Rio, all the bumps, the cobblestones, the tight, congested corners. That might be a doozy. We're keeping the camera here on Bryant, trying to make a push for second. And our predictor is about to come to a conclusion here with 2 laps remaining. What will it be? 9% of you putting some points toward Bryant. 76 with Cratrium and 15 with Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun, who's just kind of quietly been running in 4th, hasn't been able to get the pace to have a go at Bryant here. But I suppose if Bryant challenges Cratrium for second and these two either get tangled up or just through battling they slow each other up, that could open the door for Fear the Fun on the remaining 1 1/4 laps. Colossal. Panorama Bathurst was your track selection. Hopefully you're actually there for it. Yeah. Let's get the full 23 car grid for Bathurst. All right, here we go. Wheel-to-wheel action in the battle for second. The white flag has dropped on this 20. Oh, I'm sorry. I take it back. That is it. That was the conclusion LS Subaru finishing in first. Bryant in second. Cratrim in third. Actually, I take that back. That's Cratrim in second. Bryant in third. Bryant tried to make the push there on that final lap. I was way off. I was reading lap 29 as a it happens not often, but it does happen from time to time where I'm so used to seeing it all the way through to the end, but here in F4, the final lap we see on the UI is actually a cooldown lap. It does not count toward the racing action. Fear the Fun going to finish in fourth. Horizon having another good performance here in week number 1, finishing in fifth after a 6th place finish at Sonoma. Drex gets 7th. Slow Motion Fire in 8th. Lorna's Ghost in 9th. Patches picks up 10th. And then it's Weisenmitten. And, oh gosh, did we lose somebody in the last few laps there? Kuda 93 I know was a disconnect. SFM Darkster and Onion with Too Many Eyes. Yeah, those I knew. I totally forgot, though, that Kuda 93 got DNF'd there. Alrighty. That is it for our racing action here this evening. I am going to run the commercials here for 3 minutes, and those of you who are subscribers to the channel, I appreciate your support. You'll hear the music, and then when we get back, we'll talk to drivers in the driver's spotlight and take a look at what's ahead here on the channel over the next week. You're watching the conclusion of season number 48's week 1 of the Forza Spec Racing Series. I'm Dustin Moore. I'll be right back. Season number 48, week number 1 is in the books. LS Subaru picking right back up where he left off, not only from season 47, but the 6 seasons prior to this one. Just doing a phenomenal job getting the win out at both Sonoma and Monza, and it really wasn't all that close. Yeah, we had some drivers that kept a pretty good pace, but Subaru is just on another level, no matter what vehicle he puts himself in. Go ahead and turn on over to the driver's spotlight to have a word with a few of our drivers here before we close things out this evening. SDR, Onion with Too Many Eyes. I saw you there in the first couple of laps out here at Monza. Looked like you were in the top 5. Unfortunately, the disconnect woes reared their ugly head for you. I tell our viewers, really, we can only chalk that up to being something like a blown motor. So you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and come back out here for week number 2, yeah?
Absolutely. I was originally scheduled to work today, so I managed to trade my shift away and still got fucked anyways. Oh, sorry. Still got screwed anyways.
Yeah, it happens. Even to those of us with the best of connections, myself excluded. You just never know when those may come around and haunt you. You did finish 7th out at Sonoma, so a good news story there out of I think it was 12 or 13 drivers who completed that race, so not half bad actually in the mid pack section there. Obviously, you probably would have wished to be a little bit higher up, but what is it about week number 1 here that maybe you take into week number 2 to improve on? Is it something about your driving style, or is there maybe some work to do under the hood, so to speak, with the Polaris Razor?
I think it's just a skill issue. I need to practice more. I didn't do any practice, or I didn't do any practice on Monza before today. I did like 3 or 4 laps on Sonoma and was so far off the pace it didn't even matter. My Sonoma pace was not very quick. 7th was about as high as I would think I was going to get, and I was helped big time by some other drivers having mishaps with some tire walls and curbs and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Well, next week, so you talked about the practice or maybe the lack thereof here, a little bit more complicated tracks, at least in my opinion. We've got Lime Rock, the West Chicane track, and then really we amp up the difficulty level with Mount Panorama Bathurst. Do you put in the extra hours on that one, or are you just kind of, take what you learned here today and just maybe try to apply it next week with minimal practice?
I will put in some practice on Bathurst.
Yeah.
I don't think I will put in any on Lime Rock because we're running some goofy layout of Lime Rock.
Yeah.
All it says is Lime Rock West Chicane parentheses Rally Cross. It's super ominous. Also, I see Colossal in chat. You still gonna eat an onion on stream if you score a win? Absolutely.
Yes.
I will do this.
We're holding you to it. I've written it down. It's never going to escape my mind. So.
All right.
I think what we were still trying to figure out though is I asked you like white onion or red onion or whatever, and I think you were indifferent. Just whatever one's available.
It'll just be whatever I have in my house. Right now I have some shallots downstairs, so if I win next week, those will still be there probably.
Yeah. Chase it down with some garlic, Mario style.
Yeah. I do actually have garlic downstairs. I could totally do that.
Of course, you gotta have garlic. Garlic's gotta exist in the house. Ghibli Giblets in the chat says onions. I love onions. Yeah. If you don't
eat a raw onion Ghibli Giblets?
Yeah, a raw onion. That's it's pushing the envelope a little bit. Who based on, you had the full race at Sonoma and then of course a limited experience out at Monza. At Sonoma, you were closely battling with Fear the Fun until he got like a boost of energy and then propelled himself up to P3. But do you see it being Fear the Fun, perhaps Audrex, that you'll find yourself kind of rubbing elbows with here through the remainder of the season?
Yeah, I could definitely. I don't know. Audrex seemed a little bit off the pace tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a little bit of lack of practice. I know he joined the lobby a little bit later. I don't know what was up there. I do expect him to get back up towards the front as well. But also seeing Bryant and Serena and Horizon. I've raced against Serena before and Horizon maybe once, and they're both quick drivers, just a little bit quicker than me, so I'll have something to shoot for. I haven't driven against Bryant, but he seems like he's going pretty quickly.
I've got to ask because obviously somebody recruited them. Are you responsible for Horizon and Serena's appearance here in season 48?
I am not. No, that I do believe that might be down to Serena, because Bryant, Serena, and Horizon are all TNR drivers, and I know Serena's driven with us before.
Right. Well, it's good to see some familiar names return, and then of course some new ones show up here in FM4 for season 48. I gotta ask you, Onion, Too Many Eyes, otherwise known as Fear Junior, in the Discord. I put this solicitation out to the pit lane or the chat earlier today and received an abysmal response, close to no response whatsoever. I'm tearing up on the inside. Three brands in the real world that you would immediately sign a contract to if they came to sponsor you here in FM4. Go.
3 brands.
3. Yeah. Don't take time to think. Just rattle them
sponsor
off.
me in FM7.
Huh?
To sponsor me in FM7 specifically?
FM4. Yeah, the Forza Spec Racing
Oh,
Series.
okay.
Go.
Gibson guitars.
Gibson guitars. Okay.
Corsair.
Corsair hardware for
Like
computers.
PC parts, yeah. And Coca-Cola.
You got one beverage or food item in there. Well done.
Gotta get Coca-Cola in there.
Gibson.
I was just looking around my room. I have a Gibson pen on my desk. My PC has a ton of Corsair gear in it, and I have a can of Coke beside me.
Who's at the top of the list? Is it Gibson?
Gibson guitars. They have some really good money, and also I would really love a Gibson guitar.
Fair enough. I'm telling everybody right now, sponsors don't actually add to the tally of viewers here on Twitch, and so there's actually like 50 recruiters who are watching right now, just waiting to swoop up a driver. So, Gibson, if you're out there you go.
Gibson guitars. I paint the cars as well. I paint all my own cars. I paint all my team's cars. I can put your logos on everything.
There you go. How can you refuse, Gibson? How can you refuse? Get the man a guitar. Enough with shouting out to the corporate head honchos that aren't watching the channel. And how about some shout outs for anybody who is watching?
I don't know. Shout out. Who's the guy? Shout out Penguin976 for cheering for Barney, even though he was not even here. That's some serious dedication.
Well, I think he converted over to Penguin converted over to LS Subaru because apparently a big LS fan.
Boo.
I know. That's
Bad
exactly
choice.
what I said. It's like, why does LS Subaru need any more support? Really?
Bad choice. Should have become an Onion fan, an Onion enthusiast, if you will.
It's like deciding to root for the Bulls during their championship run. Like, they don't need your fanfare. They don't need your fanship.
Yeah. Rooting for Mercedes after 2014.
That's right. What other analogies can we come up with? Yeah. Okay. Was that it? Was it Penguin or anybody else?
Yeah, I don't think I saw Lamslide in the chat.
No.
I sent him the stream link. I can see he's in the other Discord call. I might have to go give him some choice words after.
I know. What's that about? Where are the people rooting on their fan? Where's the Lamslide? I ask.
We need the Lamslides. That guy, all his jokes never miss. That's the good chatter right there.
Yeah. All right, folks. There you go, chat. I'm posing the challenge right now. We've got you guys are at like a 3 today. We've got to get to a 10 or an 11. Let your friends, your family, your Forza foes, whoever you want to recruit to come over here and hang out with us here on a Tuesday night. What else is going on? Seriously.
Yeah, who has anything going on Tuesday, man?
I know. Twitch.tv/xventure. Send them my way. Send them our way so that we can all have ourselves a good time. SDR Onion, always great chat with you. I'm sad with you or for you that the connection didn't hold true in the Monza race, but look forward to seeing you there in week number 2.
Yeah, for sure. Check out that emote I just sent in chat. Look how cool that is.
Is it an onion?
No. He's eating a stick of butter.
Oh, well, see, it won't be cool until we have a GIF or an emote of somebody eating an onion.
Okay. I'll be sure to gifify my
Yeah,
onion consumption.
it'll be one of
I'll
my
send it to you.
emotes if it happens.
Oh, that'd be sick. I'll subscribe then.
Oh, okay. You're gonna hold back until then. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, there, Fear Junior. Appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful week.
You too, Dustin. See you on next Tuesday.
Thanks. All right, over to Fear the Fun. No, how do I do this? You know what it is I always see the F. I always see the F in the front of your name, and so immediately I just jump to Fear the Fun.
No, it's because all us moderators, we're just all the same to you, aren't we, Dustin?
Yeah, you guys are. Speaking of all the same, LS Subaru picks up the win. You had some pretty good performances here. You finished in 10th out at Sonoma, and then it looks like 8th here at Monza. So a couple of top 10 finishes. Pretty solid start to the Polaris Razor season. How are things looking from you, from both your own vantage point, but then also for the order of the league here in week number 1?
I had higher hopes for Sonoma there, but I suffered from damage from hitting the curbing, which was a kind of a new issue that through all the practice we'd been having and qualifying and never seen anybody have issue with that. And then during the actual race, there's about 5 of us that hit the same curb and took pretty substantial damage. So that's what caused the back part of the pack there to get all spread apart like it did, was damage from that curbing.
Would that be in the S's section on the back straightaway, or well, I guess not a straightaway, but on the backside of Sonoma, or where was that exactly?
It's that right-hander, that 90-degree right-hander where you can run out wide.
Yeah.
Kind of the NASCAR line, you run way out wide and just cut in before the wall, that corner.
Yeah, the death-defying section of the track where you flirt with the wall a little bit. Okay. Any other tracks? I know you said during practice and in preparation for the season it wasn't really identified, but does that start getting you thinking about some of the other tracks and where there might be some implications there?
Yeah, I mean, anything that's got a bigger curb, I'm definitely going to be looking at my tune, raising the ride height on the front just a little bit to try and prevent that from happening again.
Where my mind immediately goes and makes me think, man, that could be super devastating is Rio. You guys opting to put Rio, well, I say opting, I know somebody probably voted for it, but the full track of Rio in reverse, that's going to be interesting in the Polaris.
Yeah, what caught us off there during testing night was everybody had way too stiff a suspension. So there was a couple of the curbs that would just pop the car into the air, and with this short wheelbase, you'd be backwards before you could catch it.
Wow.
There's a lot of work to be done there. You're going to be running a lot softer suspension around Rio than you are anywhere else this season.
I say I put in some time behind the wheel. I mean, that's giving it more credit than it's really due. But with the limited time that I drove the Razor around, I was having trouble with some snap oversteer. Is that something that's easily fixable with tuning, or is that just driving style? Is that anything that you yourself or any of the other drivers have experienced here with the Razor?
Yeah, you start playing with the suspension, you bring this thing down, stiffen up the springs, and the snap oversteer goes away. We've got so much tire under this season that's not a big issue. It can be if you start like bumping somebody, it's pretty easy, but that's more just because of the short wheelbase. Anytime you've got one of these short wheelbase vehicles, a little bump and it'll be around.
Yeah. Okay. So just a me problem. Got it. Check. But what about what about transmission? I mean, we've got Bathurst that's on the schedule next week. We had Monza here tonight. Is there some tinkering around with transmission that's needed in a low horsepower vehicle like the Razor to be able to accommodate some of these longer stretches? And then of course when we get to the tracks that aren't so long-winded, shorten up those gears so that you have a little bit more torque through the corners.
Yeah, there's so little horsepower in this to work with this season, and then with with the race tires on it. It is 100% a momentum car. So if you're going to gain any little bit, it's all going to be with that transmission tuning. So you're playing with that at every track if you want to eke out that last little bit of speed.
And if I'm not mistaken, you all usually shy away from the transmission, right? It's usually maybe a sport upgrade, but we've got a full-on race transmission this season.
Yeah, this thing has the CVT in it to start
Yeah.
with, so it was pretty unbearable to try and race
Yeah.
without it. So we just kind of embraced it this season and went full race transmission and let people tune it for once. Every
Gotcha.
once in a while, we'll do seasons like that just to something different.
And then in terms of tires too, you guys opted for the race tires. Certainly makes the Razor a lot more, I guess, controllable, a lot stickier with the track. Was that on purpose, or was that just to get it up to the PI level? Because really, some of the increases or the upgrades to this vehicle are pretty negligible in terms of PI boost.
No, that was a purposeful choice. We kind of played into the let's just make this thing a big go-kart and make
Yeah.
it just hug the track.
Uh,
After running the limos and
yeah.
the F-150s and a bunch of other stuff, it had been quite a while since we had a truly just, momentum car.
Mm-hmm. We peered at it a little bit here today. I think I saw maybe like 30% late in the race at Sonoma. Any track that you think is going to have tire degradation issues?
No, we won't see that come into play until
Okay.
the very, very last race of the season.
Yeah.
We do have a few interesting tracks on the schedule that are a first for us. And that's next week we're headed to Lime Rock, but
Mm-hmm.
we're running a rally cross layout. So what that is after turn 1, we'll run out into the grass and we'll do like a chicane through the tire walls before rejoining the track at turn 4.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this was something we kind of looked at with the F-150s, but they were just too big, too fast. It was kind of unmanageable, but
Yeah.
it ends up being pretty fun in these. So you'll see a lot of chaos going on there as people dive into the grass and try and navigate that section.
I mean, that's a considerable, at least in my head, as I'm envisioning it right now. That track there, Lime Rock, that seems like a considerable time saver. Is there the option for drivers to opt for the asphalt track portion of that track?
No,
Okay.
everybody will be running through the grass, and it slows you up enough that I didn't compare lap times, but I don't think you're gaining anything running through the grass by the time you chicane the
Oh,
tire walls.
okay. I'm just checking because I know Fear the Fun will be the first to try to take advantage of just staying on the track. I know this for sure.
Well, what is interesting is the Homestead. We're running the Speedway with these, and this is another track that new. We're running the flat track layout, which is the pit entry and exit. So clear off running, the tarmac between the two strips of grass. And that is actually faster in this vehicle than
Really?
running the Speedway. This thing is so slow that the Speedway is slower than running the
Wow.
pit entry and exit through the corners. So,
Huh.
and that should keep everybody bunched up a little bit more because you do have to lift a little bit going into the corners, and then it's tight enough through that section that you actually have to drive it. You're not just holding the throttle open.
Is that one where you guys throw out the dirty lap rule and that's where you qualify, or are you qualifying on the oval?
Around there, since it is quicker to be dirty, we'll probably qualify on that shorter layout, but Lime Rock will be qualifying on the clean layout.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Something to look forward to, mixing it up a little bit here throughout the season. That is Lime Rock next week. It's actually the first race on the books for week number 2. And then, as Soul Motion Fire pointed out, Homestead on the, I guess, the apron and the pit lane entry exit areas for week
That
number
won't
3.
be. Yeah, there you go. Next week is Lime Rock and
Yep.
Bathurst.
Mm-hmm. Bathurst will be something to watch if drivers don't have their handling sorted out. Going through the slalom there could be not comical, but but virtually deadly.
Yeah, and this car, since we have so little power and so much grip, it constantly catches you off just how hard you can drive this thing into the
Mm.
corner and just how quickly it will stop. So we've seen some drivers kind of struggle with that this season. I know myself, it's caught me off a couple times. It probably took me about 10 laps at Monza there to get into a rhythm of really how late I could actually brake going
Yeah.
into turn one. So we'll see that coming into play in that downhill section. You'll see some drivers being a lot braver than others through there,
Um,
and that's what you'll have to do to keep the speed up and
hmm,
gain places.
gotcha. That's gonna be a fun one. And you said it might be where drivers struggle. Where we didn't see drivers struggle were in some of the new names and new faces, or maybe some return folks here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Bryant Toyosama, who's raced in FM4 before, unfortunately was doing really well at Sonoma, and then something happened, was ended up in the pit lane, and that was the last of Toyosama we saw for the evening. But then also Oofs Serena, who has raced here with FM4 before. TNR Horizon, not familiar with Horizon, but was out there. So some drivers, either new or returning to FM4, not really struggling, racing there in the top 7, top 6.
Yeah, yeah, it was good to see some new names in the field this season. I think Serena, Bryant, and Horizon,
Mm-hmm.
if memory serves me right, are all kind of coming from the same group or
TNR,
same
yeah.
team. Yeah, yeah. So they were all quick this race, and I think Toya took damage. I don't know if he had engine issues or if he had. No. He caught that tire wall on the outside.
Okay.
Slowed him up at Sonoma there.
And that was it for Toya. Hopefully, Toya, if you're listening, hopefully we'll see you back. No matter how frustrating it might have been, hopefully we'll see you back in week number 2. And that goes for everybody who was a participant here tonight. We had 15 drivers starting out the evening, and I know there's a few folks that were in the chat who were having connection issues. Some who were there participating in the chat, but maybe we'll see you out on the track here for week number 2. Getting that driver count up is always something at least I like to see here on the spectating side of things. The more cars and drivers that we have out there, oftentimes the more exciting, at least the more battles that we have to kind of look around at across the track. Slow Motion Fire, well done here again. I say it every time. Any shout outs that you have for the folks watching, or maybe there on the admin side of the house?
Well, as you've seen, so if that's your style of racing, come out and join us. We'd love to have you on the track with us. And yeah, thanks to the admin team and thanks to all the drivers who make all this possible. And thanks to you for putting together the broadcast. The broadcasts really make this a whole lot of fun and add a lot to the experience. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, and like I said off the top, like all day today, I was stoked to get back to FM4. I get my 3 weeks where I get to do whatever I want on Tuesdays here stream-wise, but to come back around to FM4 to kick off a season is always exciting for me. I like it a lot. Has me wishing the day would go quicker, but that's every Tuesday, but especially so on an FM4 Tuesday. So much fire. Great talking with you. We'll see you in week number 2.
All right, sounds good. We'll catch you later, Dustin.
Alrighty, and I didn't think we would maybe hear from LS Subaru. It took a while to join into the queue here on Discord, but LS Subaru, who picked up the win not only at Sonoma, but then also at Monza here. So both races for the evening. I'd like to say it was maybe a little bit closer with Cratrium not having to fight his way up through the field, but he did his best to keep pace. Really, you were maybe dealing with more back markers than anything else. Shh. They absolutely did, and the vehicles. I say this every time, like from the limousine to the F-150 Raptor race truck to now the Polaris Razor, like they always seem to do a lot better out there than I expect. Obviously, the drivers have everything to do with that, but how confident are you going into week number 2? We got some challenging courses. We've got the Rallycross circuit of Lime Rock. We've got Mount Panorama Bathurst. Any one of those make you feel like that could threaten your lead any?
I gotta make sure that I figure out the right line for it and all that. As for Bathurst, yeah, it's my home race, so naturally I'm going to be confident for that one. So we'll just have to see what happens then.
Very good. Well, there's the schedule on the screen for our viewers. My apologies. Slow Motion Fire saying no audio from Subaru. I had a little audio flip issue there that I was dealing with Discord and here on the stream. So my apologies for that. But it should be A-OK now. Subaru, any shout outs for you here this evening? I know your LS teammate Barney unable to participate tonight, but anybody that you'd like to give kudos to?
Shout out to the team as always. Shout out to Slow Motion 5 for making my livery again this season. Shout out to all the race organizers at FM4. Shout out to you, Dustin. And yeah.
Alrighty. All too kind with the shout outs to me. I'm really just here to enjoy the racing that you all put on. So easy for me to say thanks. LS Subaru, well done here. Just continuing your exceptional performance here, week 1, season 48. We'll see you a week from tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there we go. The more things change, the more they stay the same, I guess is the saying, right? The more times we change the car, change the schedule of tracks, we still have LS Subaru at the top of the leaderboard, and that will be the case entering week number 2. That's 50 points for each victory here in week number 1, which is going to have 100 points to LS Subaru's name. Awesome stuff out of Cratrium, Bryant, TNR Horizon, out of Oof Serena, out of Fear the Fun. Don't be fooled. I'm not going to be fooled. I'm sure history shows that we should expect more of the same here, but it's very possible that in the E300 Polaris RZR, the Razor, that maybe we'll have a change of outcome here in week number 2. Lime Rock, a little bit of Rallycross mixed with Mount Panorama Bathurst. It's going to be exciting. Don't miss it. 8 p.m. Eastern right here 1 week from tonight on Xventure and Twitch TV. Ghibli Giblet says, I won't get fooled again. Thanks for those who joined us here throughout the night. Again, I can't say it enough. It's always nice to not only come here after a work day on a Tuesday in the evening and be able to broadcast, but then also to have you all on the other side reciprocating that my commentary with your thoughts, your jeering on some of the folks and cheering them on, cheering and jeering from the pit lane, the chat here on Twitch. It's always a lot of fun to kind of get that going, and hopefully we'll have more of that here come week number 2. Always open to have you invite people, have them show up, check out what we've got going on here. If it's not their thing, it's not their thing. No biggie. They'll depart, and that'll be that. But you never know. You never know when we might have somebody join in, enjoy the fun, and stick around and be an Xventure lifer, if you want to call it that. Awesome job by all the drivers, to the admin staff here of FM4. Great going on getting everything up and running as you always do. We conclude here on time this evening, and that will lead us into our next broadcast, which will be Friday. I think I'm going to do something a little bit different. I normally play video games here on the channel. Sometimes, let's see, what have we done that hasn't been video game-ish in the past? We've done some baseball card stuff. But what we might be doing here on Friday is putting together a Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 Lego set. One of those what are they called? They're called the, oh, I forget the name. The Technic Lego kits. I've never put together a Lego Technic vehicle, but I've got myself a ZR1, and we might be doing that on Friday. That'll be followed by Sunday's broadcast, 9 a.m. Eastern, with the Batman Arkham Asylum playthrough. That's day number 1 of my playthrough. Day 1 of which should be 3. I don't think it'll go beyond 3. So if you're looking to hang out with me and enjoy some single-player storyline action, then Sunday at 9 a.m., a morning stream is the place to be. And then, like I said, back on Tuesday, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern with week number 2 of the Forza Spec Racing Series. Y'all take care. Have a lovely rest of your week. Be happy. Be healthy. Be kind to each other, one another. Until next time. Adios. Peace.